Hey y'all, hey! Welcome to But Also, the Real Talk podcast for real life moments. I'm your host, G Dazzle. Most of y'all know me as G Daz, but most of y'all just call me G. Your girl, your friend, your sis who's here to keep it real with you. Now, this podcast is all about diving into life's little moments that don't always fit into a nice little box. Because life isn't always black and white, y'all. Here, we talk about the gray, so both sides of the coin, where two truths can exist, those yes and moments of life, like, oh my gosh, it's really a new year, but also, damn, it's really a new year? Ooh, child. Here, we keep it light, we keep it real, and we keep it all the way honest. So you'll get some laughs, a couple of kikis, and maybe even a moment or two where you say, dang, G, you just gonna read my life like that? Yes, yes, I am. Because we're all living the same life, boo. But that's okay. So, whether you're out here trying to figure it all out or just trying to make it through today, I got y'all. Let's talk about the highs, let's talk about the lows, and all the messy moments in between. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Okay. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Like I said before, I'm your host, G Daz, and baby, we are officially back. Now, we took a little holiday break, just like your favorite winter show does. We had some time to spend with the holidays with our family, took a little bit of rest because rest is productive and very much holy. But guess what, y'all? We are back for season two. Brr, 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 brr. And also, most importantly, here's the gag celebrating 1 year of this podcast. Burr, 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 okay? So if you are new here, welcome. If you've been rocking with me since day one, this episode is for you. So, with that, let's get into it all the way. So, as we get into this next season two, season one was about finding my voice out loud, okay? Really, it was. Like, season two is all about trusting it. Now, that doesn't mean that we starting over. We're not doing that. We just starting a little bit deeper. I'm gonna let that resonate. Let that resonate for a second. As we really think and reflect about season one, let's think about like the things that surprised me because, baby, season one taught me a lot about myself. Usually, when it's a new year, it never fails that you start getting real reflective, right? You start getting real reflective about how the year went, what worked, what didn't work, what surprised you, what almost stopped you in your tracks. And baby, this podcast stretched me. It stretched your girl because one, she was just very surprised that she was even going to do a podcast, but along have a podcast that had more than one episode and on YouTube and on the TikTokies and had followers and subscribers. And those that also were hitting me up talking about like, gee, hey, I missed a couple episodes, but I'm gonna hop on the YouTube so I can binge. Binge? Binge? You talking to me? You talking to me about my podcast? About but also the Real Talk podcast? Binging. Y'all made a girl feel real special when you use that type of language now. Talk to me nice with that one. Because in my mind, I never thought that I would have anything that was bingeable. Right? And there were milestones that happened along the way. With this podcast, it stretched me so much out of my comfort zone. And that's not always easy. That's not always easy to do. And being uncomfortable is not fun. It's not at all. But with it, some really great moments and things happened over the year. We increased our listeners and our followers. We were also nominated for a Woman's Podcasting Award. Also, we were featured on Black Podcasting Weekly. So, your girl is floating over the moon. Is floating over the moon just for those accolades. That's definitely what surprised me. But it just showed me that if you keep going and keep putting yourself out there, no matter how scary it is, because baby, it is scary, okay? And even then, putting yourself out there, people will notice. And I once heard someone say, especially if you're trying to really step your content game up or really just use your voice a little bit more on the interwebs. And it's easy to get really discouraged with views or followers or downloads, or if your numbers just ain't numbering the way you want your numbers to number. Someone once told me, hey, Think about that video you posted. So what? It didn't get 1,012 million gajillion facillion views or followers or likes or whatever, but it got 23 views. Baby, that's a classroom. That's a classroom of people. You had a classroom's worth of people tuned into you. Oh, oh, I'm sad. I only got uh 34 likes, but you had 230 views. Honey, that's an auditorium, okay? Like, think about it like that. They might have not liked it, but you had an auditorium's worth of people's attention. Let that marinate for a second. Let it marinate because that's no small feat. Um, and then as I think about things, throughout the year, especially with the podcast, because it is a lot of work. Your girl is a shop of one, and she's out here doing it all by her lonesome. And she welcomes the help. Don't get it twisted now. We do welcome the support. However, it is a lot. It is a lot to manage a podcast also while working, also while living and doing life, and then while life is doing you. So there were moments where hey, for lack of better language, shit got real. Shit got real quick, real soon. It was real, y'all. And very unexpected. And sometimes when that real shit happens to you, it's hard. It is hard to stay motivated. It is hard to keep going. Hell, it's hard to even find the time. What time? What time do we have? The time that I'm trying to focus, the time that I'm trying to hydrate and stay moisturized, the time that I'm still trying to keep my eyelashes and eyelids afloat. Well, what time? And sometimes it's not always easy showing up for others when life is lifing you so hard, right? It's just like, whoo, child. And if you've been rocking with me, you know you are no stranger to the concept of being in the turtle shell. Y'all know I talk about my turtle shell a lot, where, hey, it's easy for me to isolate and get all up in my turtle shell. And sometimes you got to poke your head out to be like, hold on, let me make sure I'm not being selfish and check on the others around me and just life around me. And there were some times where the podcast where I wasn't able to pump out as many episodes where I internalized that. 'Cause I felt like I was letting y'all down. And I'm like, whoa. And because life was lifing me, it's just like, how can I show up for y'all if I can barely show up for myself? So it's just like feeling with that. It's easy to really get in your head. But here's the thing. You gotta climb up out that joint. Don't stay in your head too long, because staying in your head too long, thinking that, you're letting people down ain't gonna do nothing but stop you and hinder you. Okay. And I'm not gonna lie, there were some months, some times, some days, some weeks where the effort was just not there within me. Like, oh, I'm pulling on all the strength. Yes, I said strength. I'm pulling in all of the strength to try to get it to go, right? And there are times where I'm just like, Lord, be offense. Am I going to be able to keep doing this podcast? Because in the earlier days, hey, growth takes time. And sometimes it's a little hard to want to keep growing when your numbers ain't numbering the way you want to. But you can't let that stop you. You can't. You got to keep going. One thing that last year really taught me with the podcast is consistency. Consistency looks different with everybody. It looks different with everything. It looks different in general. But whatever your version of consistency is, it builds confidence. It builds knowledge, because you can step into the arena and be like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. But guess what? The more you keep getting back up, the more you keep showing up for yourself, the more you keep doing it, and the more you keep trying, shit starts to make sense. The puzzle pieces start to fall into place. And it's just like, wait a minute, I'm starting to see the whole picture here. And oh shoot, let me let me dust my shoulders off real quickly, because it looks like I'm doing something a little something something. Look at me looking like a professional. Look at me looking like I know what I'm doing and that I'm not out here winging it, because we all are secretly winging it a little bit, kind of sorta, right? But it's those moments, whatever that consistency looks like. And I had so many people throughout the year reach out to me for advice. And I'm like, for me? From me? I'm just getting in this thing. But because you built consistency, because you kept going, because you were able to produce something, that does give you the knowledge and the skill that you're looking for. That does do that for you, right? And so it's a really, really cool thing. It really is. Um, and with that, it also taught me that the community, it shows up. Y'all show up, honey. Y'all are showing up for your girl. And my mind was blown. Now, when anytime you go into a venture that requires you to put yourself out there. Of course, the number one fear is, oh my gosh, what if no one shows up? You throw a party, don't none of your guests come. What happens if no one shows up? What happens if they don't like it? What happens if I only get one listener? What happens if I don't get no listener? Hey, whoever shows up, shows up. And that's who you were meant to speak to. And if anything, those moments when I was the realest, the most authentic, and really just kind of being my just unadulterated self, that's when the community showed up the most. And it's just like, oh wow, you mean I'm not in this by myself. I got people looking and listening to me. I got people telling me that I made an impact in their world or that my words resonated with them. Honey, anytime that I heard my name or my podcast mentioned by someone that I didn't know or name dropped in a room that I wasn't in, look, my heart was filled and overjoyed because when the hard moments were hard, baby, they were hard. There were weeks when I was recording tired where I doubted myself, weeks where I questioned, is anybody listening? But showing up changed. It changed for me and it also grew me. And it let me know that, hey, every time that I keep showing up, that means I'm showing up for somebody. And I always say, if you know me personally, my goal is to show up for people the way that I want them to show up for me. So that is definitely something that I really learned over this past year. And y'all surprised me. The engagement, the comments, the reposts, the retweets, all of that, the shares. Look, I can't hurt y'all enough because, baby, y'all had me cracking up. Y'all gave me some real good kikis. Okay? Real good kikis. Um, and so as we think about the 2026 year, because 2025 is long gone. It's long gone. We on to the next one. And I know for some 2025, it did its big one. Whether it kind of came in a little disrespectful or it came in, on one. All I do know is 2025 definitely came and went like it had somewhere to be. Okay. I never felt like a year was more on fast forward than last year. But with that, that just lets me know that it just reiterates for me that time is so precious. So, so precious. I know that there are those that had love last year, but also those that had loss. I was one of those people, love and loss. And because of that, it definitely makes me want to be intentional because time is the one thing that you can't get back, which is why it is the most precious thing that you can ask somebody of. It's a privilege to ask somebody for their time, and even more so if they extend it to you. So, the time that you all gave me to listen to my show, the time that you lend me your ears and you viewed me with your eyes, and even more so, if my words ever popped up, thank you for your time. Your girl does not take it lightly, okay? Not at all. So, similarly to how we did last year for season 1, episode 1, I will never get tired of saying that. Just letting y'all know. The fact that I have a season 1, your girl is gagged. So, prepare to be sick of me at least for the rest of the month, at least for like Q1 of 2026, at least. So, at the beginning of season 1, we were talking about, what are our goals for ourselves? And you know me. So instead of goals, I like to use the word intention. So what I want us to do is what are we doing to think about our goals for this year? And what are our intentions? I know for us, especially on this show, my intention for you all, my intention is to be more authentic, right? Be more myself, my raw self, my more unapologetic self. Not saying that I wasn't last year, but last year, was me dipping my toe in. I had to see how the water was. I had to see if it was warm or not. Your girl stayed cold, so if the water was cold, I wasn't getting in. But the water was warm because y'all welcomed me with a warm reception. So I kept on going, giving you little bits and pieces of myself. But for this year, because y'all loved on your girl a little bit too much, your fault. You're bad. Thank you for being awesome. Now I want to give you more of me, more of my raw self, more unapologetically. And even most importantly, I have the intention to be my most moisturized and hydrated self yet. Okay, because as a millennial, as a grown woman, grown man, moisturization and hydration just seems to be something that we can never get enough of. I'm thirsty right now as we speak. As you listen, your girl's already dehydrated and the year just started. So, those are some of my intentions. But also that means that we have so many things that we can discuss. And this show is no longer just about me. It's about all of us. It is. And so what that means, we're going to have more conversations from the gray. Be more intentional. And because life be life in the way it does, and for some reason, I have no idea us millennials why we struggle so much with the idea that we really are grown. Like we can't be the new adults, but we really are. And that comes with a lot. And honestly, we have to be the most unserious bunch of adults I ever done met. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Really wouldn't. But with that, that means more laughter, more kikis, y'all, because also with millennials, I know don't nobody crack us up more than us. And we're going to have us a good time. And that also means we're going to be more intentional and have more honesty because let's really talk about it. Like, let's really talk about the things that they're not really talking about it. And can we talk about it some more so we can talk about it enough? Okay. So let's talk about it. Definitely want to get some more of those you're not alone moments because I swear to you, just from my casual TikTok scrolling, I already know that we are all living the same life. And no matter how minuscule the motion is, where it could be something as simple as trying to plug in a damn plug into the outlet and the outlet is fighting you, or the little things of getting up from the couch and all of a sudden snap, crackle, and pop is coming from your body because your bones ain't boning like they used to bone. So it's just like, I'm not alone in this. Like, I thought I was the only one. And baby, come on now, millennials, us 86 babies, baby, honey, baby, sir, ma'am. Guess what, y'all? We are crossing over into the threshold of full auntie unk this year. What do I mean by that? We are turning 40. We're turning 40. Oh, goodness, how are we doing out there? Are we okay? Because I can always think about all the things of my younger self that I thought I'd be doing when I turned 40 and what that looked like. But I believe I think it was Jill Scott. She had an interview with, was it Angie? Angie Martinez? I'm gonna have to double check that, so don't hold me to it. But she was talking about what life looked like at that time. That in your teens, that's when you're going through your educational self. In your 20s is where you start trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. You're getting your higher education, you're doing your jobs, you're finding your starting point. In your 30s is where you really, really, really work hard. Right? That's where you're grinding, grind mode hard, especially if you're trying to break some of those generational curses, breaking those generational chains, breaking all of those things and trying to set up a life for you, yourself, and your family. And then in your 40s, that's when you are not necessarily doing what you have to do to make it work. At this point, you are doing what you enjoy to do. You're more passionate, you have more know-how, and you have more boundaries in what you are and what you ain't gonna stand for. And at 40, it's just like, nah, baby, long gone are the days where I'm doing 60, 70-hour work weeks for the pay that don't match the description. In the 40s, you get just enough. Or you get what I decide to give. And and whatever it is, it has to align with me. It has to align with my peace. It has to align with my life and my values and my morals. And baby, if we not aligning, then we need to go our separate ways. And in the 50s, then that's when we just kicking back having fun. And so that is what the 40s means. And you know what? I look forward to that. I hope Miss Jill Scott, Jilly from Philly, I like Sis's line of thinking. I like her reasoning. And it resonates with me because that's exactly how I feel. I definitely feel like I am very much in my rich auntie era with all my niecey poos, all my nephews, all my guy babies and fur pups and fur nephews and nieces. Like she's in her rich auntie era. And this is where you show up for people because those are the moments that matter. It matters. So, you know what? With all our imperfections and whatnot, season 2 ain't about perfection. It's not. If you haven't really caught the theme of what I've been saying, and if it hasn't bubbled up to the top, it's about presence, y'all. It is about presence. It is about showing up. It is about being there. And intentionality, I feel, is within all of that. It really, really is. Um, and when I think about that and being present, I even find myself practicing ways of being present, right? Like if I'm in a conversation with somebody that I haven't talked to in years, my phone is face down. Right. If I'm at a meal with somebody and we are fellowshipping and I'm here with a loved one, getting that quality time, or even with an elder, I'm not scrolling. I'm being present. I'm sitting at their feet. I'm listening to these stories and thanking them for letting me stand on their shoulders, and even with the little ones, where it's just like, yeah, they want to show me how to do a cartwheel or jump in the air and clap like it's the first time they've ever done that. And I'm going to look with my undivided attention. And so it's being present and not being so distracted, especially today in this world, or in my new favorite phrase, in this economy, because we know, quiet as it's not kept, America's still ghetto. America's still a little ghetto. And internationally, I'm pretty sure people are watching the USA on the news like it's its favorite reality show. Welcome to America season 3. So we know it's still ghetto, plain and simple. But within that, that's why I think it's even more important being present, because there's so much going on, so much. So we got to show up. We got to show up. So, like I said before, because of the way that y'all embraced your girl, because of the way that you just showed, but also so much love, season 2 is not just mine, baby. It is ours. Come on in the room. I invite you to come on in the room. Now, I'm going to give you a little song. I always got a little song or a tune on my heart. That ain't changed. But what that means is, hey, as we talk about the real talk, I want to know what else y'all want to talk about. I want to know what's on your mind. I want to know what are those topics or those things or those stories that you want to share and be like, yo, G, I know I'm not the only one, or can we really talk about it? So with that, I invite you, especially as we hit our podcast anniversary today, the day after Martin Luther the King Jr., because that's when we did it. It is an honor. So talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, baby. Let's talk about it. Slide in my DMs, leave the comments, give me episode ideas. What are the stories that you want to talk about? I want to know. I want to know. And if you are not, what's the word? Is it neurodivergent? If you're not one who listens to a conversation and they hear phrases that automatically thinks of a song, if Joe, I want to know, didn't pop into your mind, then this ain't the podcast for you. I kid. Or do I? Anywho, it's all love. It is all love. But for those of you who have something on your mind, something on your heart, a vision, something that's just earning just thing that's just kind of ticking at you in the background. And there's something that you've thought about doing, but you were too scared. You thought about doing it, but you felt you need to do more research, or you want to start it, but you haven't felt like you talked to enough people. Honey, darling, sir, ma'am, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it many times before. Sometimes when there's nothing left to do and you've already over analysis paralysis yourself to death already, the last thing that you have to do is just start. So if nothing else, if you've been waiting for that sign to start, and even if this is your sign to start again, that is okay. Keep on starting. Just like that janky car that we used to have back in the day that it didn't start right up. What happened? You turn that key one more again and you keep on trying till you get that baby to start. So, honey, this is your sign to start again. This is it. Like Nike said, just do it. Just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't even have to make sense. just do it. Just get it out there. Because guess what? After you do it, you'll look at what you did and be like, how can I do it better? And you're going to keep on challenging yourself. But you can't challenge yourself until you gets to doing it. You got to do it to get her done first. So, if anything, season 2 is proof that rest does not mean quitting. It doesn't, because I know y'all miss me. And guess what? I miss y'all too. But it's okay. We back and rocking. And so with that, I want to say welcome back. Hit it, Quids. Welcome back to But Also. Whoa. Ooh. All right, y'all. Before I let you go, if you've been rocking with me, laughing with me, getting these kikis in, or even more so saying, dang, she really just read my life, let's stay connected, boo. Cousins, friends, or dazzlers. I'm working on something. Stay with me. We're trying it on. For the G dazzles out there, we're trying to figure out what the follower name are. Are y'all my dazzlers? Are y'all my cousins? Are y'all my dazzling cousins? We're figuring out, but that's a conversation for another day. But you want some more of this? You can watch and subscribe on YouTube at G Plus Dazzle. Come on over and hang out with me so we can actually see each other, because that's where we'll be able to see this live and living color face with all my facial reactions. And so you know that it's real. Also, if you're more of a listen on the go type of person, that's cool. You can still catch us wherever you get your podcast. Whether that's Apple Podcast, Spotify, or whatever. And furthermore, don't be shy. We don't do that. Like I said, come on in the room. Follow us on the socials at @ButAlso_podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That's where you'll be getting all the clips, lives, conversations continue, and the mess gets shared. So either way, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, tap follow, and send this episode to the group chat. Send it, share it, spread it, all of the things. Season 2 is officially in motion, and I am so glad that you buckled up with your sis for the ride. So with that, until next time, cousins, keep laughing, keep growing, keep embracing all of your moments, the good, the bad, the messy, and everything in between. So with that, I'll holla.